on 1380 WAOK.
You know, last summer we took a group of kids from the King Center through our Now Encounter summer camp that we have, which stands for Nonviolence Opportunity Watch. And I thought about how we have Neighborhood Watch, but what if we raise up young people who are looking for opportunities or watching for opportunities to employ nonviolence? And that's what we're committed to, really raising up an army of young people in the spirit and after the manner of Dr. King, so that they embrace this as a lifestyle. But we took them down to Alabama to see some of the sites and to engage some of the people who lived through that movement. And one girl, a couple of girls actually, a girl and a guy, you know, said to us, "Thank you, because I got more in this day because they got to see the real and the authentic and encounter that than I've gotten sitting in a year of history class." And so it awakened them to a whole new level. So you're right, it's the exposure. And it's what we just heard. Stop, look, and listen. We are not paying attention. Not just parents, the rest of us. We're moving so fast, making a living. We're not making a life for the next generation. And my daddy always said that violence is the language of the unheard. And we've got to begin to pay close attention to our young people and engage them and love them. Love them, then we will elevate them.
Dr. Tom, are these problems too intractable? Are they too big? It seems like when we have these conversations, it seems like it's so big. I mean, what do we need to do? I mean, you gave us a 1-2. Starting tomorrow, what can I do?
I'll give you two solutions. One, International President Obama met with all the psychologists to stop this anger management stuff, stop, think before you do something. And there's one thing you can do to stop violence. It's one thing. Teach kids how to read before they get to age 8. You do that, and you will eradicate violence. You will decrease it significantly. We predict as psychologists how many jails to build at age 8 reading level. That's how we project out into the future. So when we let kids drop and we let them fail and we don't teach them how to read and write and do arithmetic, they lose a sense of hope. A sense of hopelessness takes over to where they have no sense of the future. So research shows you teach kids how to read up to grade level at 8, you stop violence years later. Second thing, there's 4 things that all kids need. And I want every parent to write this down. Number 1, they need parents to show up and have FaceTime and be present with them. 2, when they show up, they have to make sure that they're present, meaning that they're not being distracted, meaning that I'm there listening to you. I'm not multitasking. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on the phone with my boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm not planning the family reunion. I am sitting down and I'm being present with you right now. Number 3, when you do that, you tune in long enough to actually get the kid. I think more than we want to be loved, we want someone to get us. When kids feel like you get them, they respond to you. And then number 4, once you get them, you have to behave as you get them. What I mean by that, if I understand that you love music, I don't go in your room and tell you, turn off that Ricky rap. I say, who you listening to? Why do you like him or her? Man, tell me, is that something you're looking to do, or is this something you enjoy? When you get them, then kids feel loved. Yes, we can take the guns away, and I am 100% in agreement, because cultures that don't believe in guns, like Japan, they don't have gun violence. It's very easy. We're addicted to guns and that violence. However, the second prong is, why don't we take care of the kids that are behind the guns, the ones that get hurt and use the guns to hurt others? If we can actively address their needs and increase mental health funding and change the way we do mental health. We're not going to have a mental health group and kids going to come out, but we can do active mentoring, substance of a man conversations. And we can be able to teach and mentor kids how to be a man. Organizations that do that, Greg Street, Officer Briggs, Derek, representatives, those work. We have to do this on a regular basis every week, and then we can build our boys in there.
We teach being in the hood as being HIV, which is hood infectious virus. So if you're in the hood, you're already exposed to all the negative things that can give you full-blown AIDS, which is the addiction to incarceration and the death syndrome. And it blew their minds because they live in the hood every day and they see what they see.
The bottom line is there's money to be made in this gun manufacturing business. And that's one of the things the reason my father got killed is because he was speaking to these economic issues. The fact that spend as much money as we would on death and destruction through the war in Vietnam, but we would not distribute wealth to deal with true social ills in our country because we are so overly driven by capitalism. That's just the bottom line.
We're also joined by State Representative Keisha Waits, and she's been meeting with law enforcement and having a conversation. And we had to ask you a question. You know what? I'm telling you, I'm having a dual experience because when we say the metal detectors were not working, I really had to step back a second and ask, why should they have been? We've reduced our schools to you got to go through a metal detector at a middle school. I mean, really. I mean, when you think about that, people were up in arms that they were not working. And I had to ask myself, we have gotten to the point that we need a metal detector for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds to walk through the school. But there has to be a public policy response. So Representative Waits, tell us what you've been working on in that regard.
And so from a policy perspective, we're asking for Congress to restore the cuts that were made to mental health funding. We're asking for gun legislation. LaDon Jones-Luckett has proposed some gun legislation that will give an additional 3 days of waiting periods before you're able to obtain a gun. And if in fact you are mentally ill, there will be a 12-month waiting period before you're able to obtain a gun. The reality is all of this is not going to fix these inequalities.
Yeah, we have to do something. And one of the things, Derek, that we talk about, we have to start actually promoting the good things that the kids do. Kids always see the negative. The media, and I think the media puts it out there like that because that's what intrigues us and that's what we like to see as a whole. But like she said, we have to start, Bernie said, we have to start a change. A change.